It's Thursday night, so you know what that means. Welcome to the Highspots virtual gimmick table. I, of course, am the guru, Tommy Thomas, and I have a very, very special guest with me tonight. Who are you, special guest?
Samuray del Sol, or you guys know me as Kalisto. Lucha, lucha, lucha!
And we're going to do some lucha things tonight, guys.
Oh, man.
We're doing it tonight.
Some good lucha things.
Some good lucha things. But I give all of my guests gifts. You are no exception. So, I heard that you're a big fan of Eddie Guerrero.
Yes, of course. Oh,
so,
no
there
way.
you go. It's not signed by him, of course.
Whoa.
But it's a beautiful artwork. I've seen that you have like an incredible office where you've got all sorts of memorabilia and stuff. So hopefully that makes it into the office.
This will definitely make it in my office, man. It's gonna be right on my wall. Oh man, I love Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is one of the reasons too why I started wrestling, man. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, the whole cruiserweight division, everything. But Eddie's a man.
Absolutely. Oof, and I heard that you started watching wrestling with your grandma. What's the fondest memory of that? I know Eddie probably wasn't wrestling at that time.
I know, man. Look, it goes way long. Okay, I was born in Chicago, and I was raised in Mexico for like 5-6 years. I did go to school there first 2 years, and during that school, I started watching wrestling with my grandma on TV. It was Lucha Libre at the time. It was El Santo, Blue Demon, Tinieblas. Then the movie started and like everything, but like my grandma wanted to be a wrestler. Nobody in my family, I have no connections, no family relatives, nobody connected with wrestling. Just my grandma. She wanted to be a wrestler. And she got me my first mask. My first mask, believe it or not, was an Octagon mask. And I told my grandma, Grandma, I want to be Octagon Junior one day so you can see me wrestle at Arena Mexico or Mexico, anywhere. And I mean, she passed away in 95, and I'm still living her dream, I feel. And I'm living my dream too. But when I got to that arena and I wrestled that day, and even when I became Octagon Junior, man, the tears, everything, just as soon as I got to my room, I was like, oh, man, because I'm a private person, so I try not to cry in public, but, man, either way, you can't tell, I try to hide it myself, but, yeah, because of her, I became a wrestler, and still to this day, besides her, seeing the fans, the kids, lucha, they're the reason why I'm still here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, speaking of Chicago, I heard in high school you actually were not a bully. You used to beat the bullies up. Is this true?
Oh, no. Well, I used to lift a lot because I was chubby in grammar school, and I got tired of being called fat. I was bullied. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get big, and I'm going to go to the football team. I'm going to be a lineman. So I earned my spot, and I don't know why my coaches kept calling me Rudy until the end of high school. That's literally my story. I wanted to be a lineman, and I proved my coach wrong that I can block this 6'2", 300-pound kid. I just blocked them. Boom, just technique. It's all about technique. So I used my technique, and I became MVP 4 years, lineman, offensive and defensive line.
Wow.
All special teams, and I was always active. And even in wrestling, I was 145 wrestling 152, 152 wrestling 165, 165 wrestling 172. So when it came to state, I wrestled my own weight. Man, I just knocked them all out.
Eating people alive.
Yeah.
Speaking of style, though, how did Hayabusa influence your style?
Oh, his presentation, his mask, just the way he presented himself inside and outside the ring. Out of everybody that I saw, all of my favorite wrestlers, Hayabusa stole my attention. Just the way he presented himself, his eyes, the way he looked at his opponent, but his presence stole my dreams, everything. And just like that's the creation of Samuray del Sol, Kalisto, everything, the involvement of that, the evolution of that. It's just that started growing from there, but still, the number one person besides Eddie Guerrero, besides Rey Mysterio, Hayabusa.
Absolutely. What about Grand Apache?
Grand Apache. Oh man, my old teacher. One of my favorite teachers. I had many teachers from Chicago, starting with Steve Boz, and still training over there in CSW Chicago style wrestling. Shout out to Steve Boz. And I had many great teachers, but Gran Apache he took me under his wing, and after training, it was always me, Penta, and Phoenix. Me, Penta, and Phoenix, always trying to one up each other. I'm the best. No, you're the best. But I mean, look at that's how good competition. It creates great competition. It creates
Yes.
great movements and great art. So we were creating art. Everybody since after practice left, it was always me, Penta, and Phoenix, and Gran Apache. So he was always taking us like, hey, do this, do that. Like he always had patience with us. And to me, like Gran Apache, because of him, that's why I do what I do. You know, it's just the motivation, how to fly, how to just make everything look like an art
Yes.
from Gran Apache. So thank you, Gran Apache.
Now, you've learned from a lot of people, but what did you learn from partying with Gronkowski?
Gronk, oh, that he's crazy. No, but I mean, like, well, I saw him trip a little bit. We were partying at the Super Bowl. What was it, 2 years ago? Man, great guy, awesome, energetic, just like Mojo Riley. Mojo, as you guys know them, he works in TMZ right now, and he used to be Mojo Riley in
Yes.
WWE.
He's been in here before.
Oh, okay. Well, he's the
Yeah.
hype guy. There you
Yeah.
go. So he's just like he reminds me so much of Mojo. It's just the energy, the as soon as he comes into a room, you can feel the energy. You can feel like happiness. You can feel great vibes. Like he's just a great dude.
Very much so.
Oh,
very
yeah.
much so. Now, off topic, what's the best Chucky movie and why?
Of course, man. I have to go with the classic one, man. Chucky, because to me, Chucky was like every day after school. I don't know why I've always watched the same movie, Chucky, Child's Play 1, 2, or 3, even Bride of Chucky 2. I love Bride of Chucky because it's more a little bit kind of like messed up his face and everything.
Yeah,
He looks
yeah.
different. I like different versions of the Chuckies, but if I have to pick one, I'll pick the classic one. Why? Because he looks more scarier and more real. So to me, Child's Play was my favorite movie ever. But I'll tell you real quick. After meeting so many celebrities and friends and everybody that I've met, I never got that much nervousness. But when I met Andy Barkley at a signing convention, I got super nervous. I was like, whoa, there's Andy Barkley right there. I can't believe it. At the end of the day, we're all fans.
Yes.
And I saw Andy Barkley. I got nervous. My wife's like, hey, you're kind of nervous. What's going on? Like, I don't know, that's Andy Barkley. That's so cool. Yeah, because we're all fans. But at the end of the day, man, Child's Play won.
Okay, the first one always
First
about.
one, man.
I'm a big fan of the TV show that they have out
Yes.
now. It's
Well,
a fabulous show.
yes, the killings, it evolved.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more gory, and I'm a big like horror movie fan, so everything like that, awesome.
What made the Basham such a great tag team?
Oh, the Basham, because they well communication. The Basham brothers.
Yeah.
Yes, they were my favorite team. That's so funny. Man, how do you know this? How do you know this, man?
Hey, come on, you're
Man.
Kalisto, Samuray del Sol.
Wow.
We gotta know these things.
Yo, the
man.
Basham brothers, they besides their music, like they're so energetic. They connected well with each other. They looked alike. That looked like a tag team to me. Like to me, that was like, man, the Basham brothers. They're coming and they're gonna destroy everything. But I mean, besides Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys too, the Basham brothers, man. The Basham brothers. I think people forget about them.
Yeah.
Right? The
Yeah.
Basham brothers are so cool. Guys, if you guys have an opportunity to watch the Basham brothers, watch the Basham brothers in WWF Metal, Heat. Man, a lot of great matches that you guys still have to see.
Absolutely. You've always had a place in your heart for people with special needs. How did that
Yes.
start?
Well, I'm a special ed teacher on the side too, and I'm also a life skills instructor for the mentally disabled. So I did that too while I was still wrestling, while I was going to school, training. Well, actually, I had 4 jobs.
Wow.
I was a security librarian. Worked with my grandfather at the video store, and college football games, graduations. I was security for Jimmy Buffett, Daddy Yankee.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot that I've done. So, I went to school, training. I was never home. Because I like keeping busy. Just like how in the WWE schedule, I'm like, oh,
300 days a year.
Yeah, this reminds me, I was never home. It's kind of the same thing. So it kind of, I can do the schedule. I get it. And it's really hard. Not a lot of people can do the schedule. So now it's different. Now things are changing, which is great. Netflix, everything. So easy on the schedule, I heard. But now it's pretty cool. So sorry, I went off track. But
Oh, all good. All good.
but yeah, I mean, what were we talking about?
Oh, no, I just said you've always had a place in your heart for people with special needs.
Yes.
How did that start?
Yo, so yeah, again, I'm a special ed teacher. My mom started with that field first, then my brother, and then they brought me in. But I grew up with my aunt. My aunt has special needs, and I kind of grew up with her, so I already know like their do's and don'ts and how to take care of them. And well, my aunt's like she's still here, so she's family, and she lives in Chicago. I haven't seen her in a while. I miss her. But yeah, everybody with special needs, like to me, it's special because I like giving back. And true story, I wanted to retire after my release and after my health scare that I had that I nearly died. Wanted to retire. Mojo had this private show for for the autism and the special needs. So they had Flow Rider, they had me, they had a couple other wrestlers.
The Triple V show, if I
The
remember
Triple V
correctly,
show. There
yeah.
you go. And it was great. And they made me want to come back. The kids, everybody, Lucha. Just the fact of having one of them being my tag partner and getting the count to 3, it was like a special feeling. And to them, just seeing their smiles, man, like now, and it reminded me that that's the reason why I'm here. That's the reason why I'm a teacher too. And I just love giving back and I love helping, It all started just me growing up with my aunt, just taking care of her too.
Absolutely. And on that topic, are there any charities, causes, or social issues the fans should learn a little bit more about?
Well, right now, I do want to build a charity in the future, but everywhere where I go, I'm always looking for charity. I'm always auctioning out a mask. If anything, I have a show. It's like, hey, you can auction this mask for or whatever I have on the table for whatever the special needs or any local communities that need help. So I'm always offering to promoters, everybody out there too, that I'll have a mask, I'll have something with me for everybody to auction it to help out. So, but yeah, in the long run, I do want one of my own, and that's something that's one of my other dreams too,
Absolutely.
to have something to give back and teach people, because I was in the Boys and Girls Clubs too. So that's another thing too that I like getting involved in the community out there in high schools. In my hometown, Chicago, I went to my old high school. I went to high schools too, just to promote and also too to give back and just show the kids that the future's out there. The future's yours.
Absolutely. I like to always end my interviews on a positive note. Please tell me if you have a day to do whatever you want to do. What is your perfect day? What are you spending your day doing?
Working out.
Oh, so you're just going to work out all day?
I do work out all day. I work out, man. I mean, when I was like really, really fit, I was working out 4 times a day.
Oh, wow. So
5
what's
times
going
a
on
day.
in between those 4 times a day? What if you could do anything? Like I said, you can do anything you want. You have a day to do whatever. What are you going to do throughout that day?
Walk on the beach. I walk on the beach. I listen to soothing music, kind of refocus, recharge, and have a me time. So not a lot of people do that, and I suggest everybody should have a me time, should have a you time. Go out there, walk on the beach, even going to a movie theater by yourself, or going to a restaurant, just sit down and eat, or whatever it is, just having a me time, that really helps, because to me, that's like a recharge for life, a recharge for everything that we're all going through. Everybody's busy, everybody has problems, everybody has good times, but we all do need that me time. And to me, that's my me time, walking on the beach, enjoying my favorite snack, whatever it is, and yeah, and work out. I work out.
That's
And
why you
work
have
out.
abs in that one picture.
No, that's what I didn't do tacos.
The super big
Tacos
abs
and burritos.
right there. Can we hug it out?
Let's go get on, bro. Yo, man.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you, bro.
This has been incredible.
Man.
Guys, once again, the one and only Samurai del Sol, FKA Kalisto. And we'll be back in just a minute with more VGT.
Lucha, lucha, luchas, gracias.